Hey, how's it going, everyone? I think this video is probably going to upset a lot of people, but I want to get this information out there. How bad are the PvP vendors? How bad is the PvP gear in Shadowlands? How grindy is it? How is the BG gear compared to the arena gear? What can you expect going into Shadowlands for PvP gearing? Well, a lot of you saw my last video where I talked about the issues with the vendors, and since then there's been some changes. And I know Venruki recently reacted to my video. I think Stoopzz also made a video, so shout out to them for doing that, because I'm not the biggest wow YouTube guy. I'm not the biggest streamer or whatever. I just can work hard on the video, create a spreadsheet, put the information out there, and then it can go through the circuit if people agree with what I'm sharing in the video. That's the best that I can do, and I'm really happy to see other people coming along. And I really, if you agree with anything that I'm saying in this video, please share this with larger YouTube or streamers that you watch, larger content creators, your favorite PvPers, whatever you can do to get this video out there, or videos like this out there. I don't even care about the views. I just want this to not be the system that we have, because I think it's completely unfair, but we'll talk about that with some effort from the community. Not just the people making the videos. We can get a lot done, and you guys did an amazing job in my last video, so I really do appreciate that. So what I have here is a spreadsheet showing you all of the desired PvP stats for all classes and specs. I even included prot specs in here, even though, whatever. So basically you have warrior, hunter, priest, monk, etc., and every class in the game wants a versatility combination. I asked a lot of people from different specs, high-rated players, and I asked some people from the recent tournament what they thought. And Warlock, for example, could be Haste Mastery. Sometimes you see Haste Mastery. Sometimes you see Haste Mastery Resto Druids. But overall, everyone agreed that they wanted Haste Versatility and maybe some Mastery or combinations like that. But for every class in the game, you can see Haste Versa for like 90% of the classes. Then you have some classes that want Versatility Mastery. And then for Holy Paladin, crit Versatility, and then maybe some crit Haste as well to hit that Haste threshold. So these are the desired PvP stats, which are extremely important to perform well in Arena, right? Or any form of PvP. You're not going to do well if you don't have these stats. You're just going to get run over. So basically, I want to show you now what's currently on the Conquest vendor. This is the Arena vendor. This is the highest tiered PvP gear that you can get in the game through Conquest, so rated battlegrounds and rated arena that you can rank up. This is different than the BG gear, and I'll talk about the BG gear in a second and what the issues are with that. It's not good. So when you're looking at this, let's say you're playing a mage, for example. Every mage spec wants haste versatility. Well, these are the options that you have. This is what you're looking at if you want to play a mage and gear through PvP. There are no cloth haste versatility pieces at all. None. There's one helmet, one shoulders, one chest, one gloves, one bracers. You get it. And these are the stats that are available. Here's the color key. There's crit mastery, helm and shoulders, haste mastery. There's for some reason a bunch of haste mastery here, and then some classes have like no haste mastery. There's actually a ton of haste mastery in general, but there's no haste versatility options for cloth on this vendor. If you look at plate and you wanted to play an arms warrior or an unholy DK, there's one helmet with haste versatility, and that's it. Now, you do have your neck, your cloak, and your rings, but those are universal amongst all classes. Okay, these are all of the options you have for gearing. If you wanted to play a monk and you wanted verse mastery, there is one. There is one verse mastery item for leather. But you look at leather for haste versatility, there's 3 options, where cloth has none. So amongst the armor types, it's not even. To be honest, and I'm not saying this in a mean way, it really feels like these are just completely randomized stats. Like they just like RNG, like a number generator, and just spit out a bunch of stats. And this is what you're looking for, because they're not even amongst armor types. Some classes have no crit haste, some have some. And I also want to talk about the stats in general that are on this vendor. Recently, someone commented on my last video, and I want to put it up here on screen. I'm not calling this person out. I really don't care. I just want to use this guy's opinion because I think it's a great example. I don't want any division between the PvE and PvP communities. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to do types of content that they don't enjoy to feel optimal. I think small minor crossover is great. If you need a trinket that comes from the raid, I have no problem going to go do that. I mythic raid now anyway. But for the majority of players, a lot of people that I talk to quit this game because of the PvP gearing in previous expansions, like in BFA, right? The guy in the comment essentially said that, like hardcore raiders have no problem doing PvP. PvP PvPers should suck it up and do mythic raiding, essentially. First of all, not everyone's a hardcore raider. Not everyone is a hardcore PvPer. It's just the content that they enjoy. Maybe they log on for 2 to 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. They have a job. They have a life. They don't have time to do all that type of stuff to feel optimal in the game. I'm not talking about to feel like the best geared character in the game. We're just talking about to feel optimal, to feel like your character is how it should feel, right? It has nothing to do with that. But I want to further elaborate on this guy's point because I want to show you guys the issues here. So when looking at all of these are the options you have, right? For cloth, you literally have what, 8 options? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options. Now, if I go over to this spreadsheet and I go to cloth, these are all of the items that are currently available in PvE for cloth. Look at how many options you have. You have 5 helms, 5 shoulders, 6 chests, 6 legs. There are almost more leg cloth options than you have total for cloth in PvP. I mean, come on, guys. This has nothing to do with trying to make PvP gearing overpowered or the best possible gearing in the game. I just think it should be fair. I mean, it's just not fair. This is wrong. The stats don't even make sense. It really feels like, and I'll get to this in the BG portion as well, but I want to mention this now. It really feels like that they want to incentivize, and at this point, if you're cloth, if you're plate, if you're, a monk, there's tons of examples I could go through. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. If you're one of those classes, you're essentially forced to PvE if you want to PvP. Otherwise, you're just going to suck in PvP. They essentially are forcing PvPers to partake in PvE, but they're doing whatever they can, maybe after Blood of the Enemy, whatever they can to not compel PvEers to PvP. But it's like, you're okay with it one way, but not the other way. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that PvP gear should be the best gearing in the game, but it should be somewhat equal. I also want to mention that if the intention is to not make PvEers feel compelled to PvP, why do you put these stats on there? Haste mastery, crit haste. These are PvE stats. These are desired PvE stats for a lot of classes. Crit verse for some classes as well. I mean, nobody wants haste versatility in PvE except tanks and potentially demon hunters this patch. And even then, it's like, it's okay that some items come from somewhere else. And not to mention, and we're going to get into the BG portion of this video, that in order to acquire these items, it's going to take you 1 to 2 weeks at best. 1 to 2 weeks at best to acquire one of these items. It's not like you can go to this vendor and just literally buy everything, or you can go do a dungeon or you can go do a raid and you can acquire multiple items per day. People can trade you items. You can get traded items and you can acquire multiple items in a single day. I know they recently changed dungeons and you get 1 item per dungeon, but still you can get multiple items in a day. At this rate, it would take you 1 to 2 weeks. Now, for some of you that were excited about BG gearing, someone did an amazing thread here, and I want to go over it, and I did validate and go through some of his numbers based on what's currently available on the beta, the honor numbers. Essentially, this guy calculated how long, if you don't know this, the gear that you get through Conquest and Honor, you rank it up. You go to this guy, you put it in there, you spend extra honor, and it levels up the item, increases the item level, as you can see here, rank 1 all the way through rank 6. Okay? This guy calculated it, and with the current honor values, even if this gets tuned a little bit, the current honor values to get a full set of rank 6 gear, which is 190 item level, which I think Mythic 0, base Mythics, which people will be doing the first day. People are going to be doing the Mythic 0s the first day of launch. A Mythic 0 drops 183 item level. Rank 6 BG gear offers 190. Now, do I think BG gear being at 190 is a fine number? I actually think it's okay, but the fact that you have to rank it up 6 times to get to a level that's adequate to Mythic 0s, I think is outrageous. And if you were excited to gear through BG, well, guess what? You better start doing a lot of battlegrounds, because this guy calculated it, and with his math, at an average of 15 minutes per BG with a 50% win rate, you're going to have to do 627 battlegrounds to get a full set of rank 6 Mythic 0 gear. That equates to 156 hours of BG time. Not total time in the game, BG time. That's 6.5 days straight 24/7 of BGs to get a full set of 190 gear. I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, I just feel like when I look at this and all the options that are available, and I know not every combination is available through PvE because of the removal of Azurite. Your shoulder slot is now something that you have to equip onto that has stats. You have to get a cloak now and a neck. I know you're not going to have every combination, but you have multiple options to choose from for better itemized stats. You can choose stats that are closer to what you want. And in general, you might not get like 1 to 2, maybe 3 items. If you're looking at this, you're getting 0 cloth items with haste verse, 1 item for verse mastery, 1 item for, you know, haste verse plate. I mean, it's just, it's honestly, it's just laughable. I don't even know. I'm just shocked. I'm not even angry. I'm just literally shocked that this is the system that we have. And it feels wrong, dude. It feels, for me, for promising these vendors, for going through BFA, someone that did keys, mythic rated. I did what I was supposed to do PvP, but there are so many people that don't want to do that. And when you design a game, a product, it's about what solves the issue for the consumer. It's about, like Joe Dirt says, it's not what you like, it's the consumer. And if the consumer wants this, just make it happen. Haste verse isn't even needed in PvE for almost like 90% of all classes. So why not put it on the vendor, or at least give them more options? And even if it's a good way to gear, it's like, if PvEers are going to have to go out and do PvP, they don't have to do it. They can literally just do dungeons or raids like they always have, right? They've always done dungeons or raids since the beginning of time, since the beginning of WoW, I should say. And then it takes them 1 to 2 weeks to get an item anyway. 1 to 2 weeks per item is too attractive gearing for PvEers to feel compelled. I don't know. I don't know. Putting this together really opened my eyes on the whole system. I wanted to share that with you guys. I'll make this public. I'll put it in the info box below once I'm done fleshing it out. I want to add some visual things to it just to have it as something that you guys can use as a resource. What is the solution now to this? Essentially, add PvP specific stats, better itemize the stats on this vendor if you're not going to add those specific stats, which they seem opposed to doing, or remove all non-versatility combinations, which would then make it so that PvP gear is, you know, for most classes might not be useful in PvE, but at least would split the two communities. The issue with that, though, is that if somebody wants to try a unique build with different stats that aren't versatility based, well, then they're going to have to go farm it in PvE, but you're going to have to go do that anyway. I mean, with this system, you're literally going to have to go do PvE anyway. So I think if you include every versatility combination, verse mastery, haste verse, and crit verse, those three combinations, that goes back to the initial 3 items or 3 combinations per item slot like we've had in every other expansion. PvP gearing has been around since the beginning of WoW. I don't think it's something that should be just thrown under the bus. I think Blizzard really misses the opportunity to capitalize on PvP because at the end of the day, you guys, there is no game that competes with WoW PvP. There's no MMO style PvP game like WoW. I mean, there's some other options out there, I know, but they have the whole market, and if they just spend more time on it, they can make it more enjoyable. More players would be incentivized to PvP. More players would come back to the game. You'd have more players just involved in PvP, which would make them say, hey, like, we'll probably tune it more and add more incentive. But if no one's participating because your system isn't good, it's like a cycle. You're not making changes because people aren't playing, and because you're not making changes, people aren't playing. If you want more subs and more players to come back to the game, this is an easy fix and a great way to boost morale before Shadowlands. I really, truly believe that. I think just a small change of these vendors can make it great. But right now, you're looking at, you know, a bajillion hours of Battlegrounds before you complete your BG gear, and you're looking at getting like 0 of the items that you actually want on this vendor. Maybe, I mean, I don't want to over exaggerate. You might have some options. Like, for example, leather, you have a couple options for sure if you're haste versatility like a demon hunter. But outside of that, good luck. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to share this video with your friends, your favorite streamer, whatever, anyone that you think would be interested. Again, if you don't agree, I understand that completely. I'm not here to force anything onto you guys. I just want to fight for what I think is right, because this is wrong in my opinion. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I'll see you guys all in the next one.